Tonight, after big layoffs on the Iron Range, we're live digging into what it means for the area. And relief is on the way for property owners in St. Louis County, how elected officials are helping those impacted by COVID-19. And voting is underway in Wisconsin for a special election to fill a congressional seat that's been empty since last fall.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mann. We'll hear from Kristen in just a moment. Thanks for joining us. Another round of layoffs hits the Iron Range. This time, it's at North America's largest iron ore plant, Mintac. CBS3's Kristen Vaki is in Virginia for us tonight. Kristen, this means the majority of mines on the range have now shut down or implemented layoffs.
That's right, Tony. Mintac is the fourth mine now on the Iron Range to be impacted by the economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's also the largest mine, employing more than 1,200 union members. And of those 1,200 members, 189 were laid off effective Sunday. Local 1938 President Steve Banach has worked at Mintac for decades. He's been through multiple layoffs, but this is something he has never experienced before. He said the layoffs happened fast, without much notice. They found out on May 1st that U.S. Steel would be adjusting production as the company tries to stay afloat while the steel industry takes a hit. But according to Banach, it wasn't until layoffs were already in effect that some workers found out they wouldn't be returning for their next shift.
Very frustrating. I know how they feel. I feel bad because I've been on that before, on that side of being laid off, and they're sitting on pins and needles.
Banach added that there is a silver lining, and that is the fact that Mintac is not shut down, meaning as of now, pellets are still going out and many workers are still going in.
And Kristen, has there been any indication that more layoffs could be coming for Mintac?
Well, that's certainly the fear. If you look at the other mines on the Iron Range that have been affected by COVID-19, they saw much larger numbers of layoffs and even complete production shutdowns. Banach says the union meets with the company multiple times a week, and as of now, they are not anticipating more layoffs. He says they do expect those folks who were laid off to be back on the job in early July.
We'll keep following that. Kristen Vaki live for us on the Iron Range tonight. Thanks, Kristen. We'll turn to another Ranger, Dave Anderson, for a quick look at the weather. Dave, cold out there this morning.
Yeah, at least three towns broke or tied records. And again, I'll talk about who those towns were coming up in a few more minutes. But right now, let's take a look at the upper Midwest situation. It's been drier than normal lately and cooler than normal. Things are going to change. And that low pressure system to the west is going to be causing the changes. It will increase clouds tonight, which will help bump up temperatures and then give us an 80% chance of rain on Wednesday, perhaps in the afternoon. But in the morning, we'll build up from a 30% shot to a 50-50 shot at lunchtime. Then in the afternoon and overnight, 80 to even 90% chance. High temp 53 degrees tomorrow is still 8 degrees or so cooler than normal. But once the low goes and brings us much needed rain, temperatures will go back to normal, maybe even warmer than normal, and I'll show you that timeline in more detail in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Today, Wisconsin voters will fill a U.S. House seat left vacant for the past 9 months. Democrat Tricia Zunker and Republican State Senator Tom Tiffany are on the ballot for today's 7th Congressional District special election. The winner will replace Sean Duffy, who stepped down for family reasons last fall. But this special election is also an unusual one. CBS3's Emma Quinn has the story.
Well, most residents in Superior were asked to fill out an absentee ballot to help eliminate the spread of COVID-19. Others did show up to the polls in person this morning. I was here at the government center here, and for a couple of hours, there was only a handful of people that showed up. Superior City Clerk Terry Kalan says about 4,200 Superior residents submitted absentee ballots for today's election. She says they aren't expecting a large voter turnout at the polls today due to so many already voting absentee. Kalan says they had a little bit more time getting things in place for today's election, unlike in April when the state held its presidential primary. You'll remember there was a lot of back and forth just days before the election over whether or not it would even be held. Kalan says Superior was much more prepared this time around.
So this election, things are calmer, and people know the precautions that they need to take if they're going to go to the polls and vote, and we have safeguards in place too as far as
She says they have partitions in place and hand sanitizer at all polling places. And while I was at one polling place today, those who were working had gloves and masks on as well. And some of the 7th District polling places were also staffed by National Guards members. And now if you do need to still cast your vote, you have time. Polls close at 8 p.m. tonight. Now all polls are open except the 6th and 10th District, who would normally go to the Salvation Army. That has been temporarily closed, and those voters are asked to come here at the Government Center.
Thanks, Emma. Meanwhile, on the Iron Range, voters are deciding if the Evelyn, Gilbert, and Virginia school districts should become one. Last year, voters approved the districts working together, building a new high school and 2 elementary schools. School officials say today's vote is about officially consolidating the school districts. If voters approve consolidating, there will be 1 school district. If they deny it, there will be 3 separate governing bodies. All voting precincts are open. Some relief today for St. Louis County property owners impacted by COVID-19. The county board voted to waive late fees on the first half of this year's property tax payments, which are due on Friday. Now, property owners have until July 15th to pay without a penalty. County leaders say by law they cannot change the deadline when taxes are due, but waiving the late fees essentially does the same thing. Now, this comes after some business owners told the board they wouldn't be able to pay on time because their income plummeted during COVID-19 restrictions. Property owners have to prove they've been financially impacted by COVID-19 to qualify. We have more details on our website. New at 6, the first candidates have applied for an open seat on the Duluth City Council. The applications went live this morning. So far, Ashley Castaldo, Chris Adet, Mark Hakes, and Rob Stenberg have all applied. You can check out our website for more information on each one of them. The application deadline is 4:30 p.m. on June 1st. From there, Duluth City councilors will hold 2 rounds of interviews before choosing a final candidate on June 8th. The state of Minnesota reached its goal of testing 5,000 people for coronavirus in a single day. Health Department Commissioner Jan Malcolm made that announcement today. She says yesterday, labs and hospitals in the state processed 5,053 tests. Malcolm says people should expect that number to continue growing as the state works to maximize testing infrastructure. If you have symptoms, you can use the state's COVID-19 dashboard to find a testing clinic near you. Malcolm also says the state received its 2nd shipment of remdesivir last night. That's a drug that's showing promise as a treatment for critically ill COVID patients. They're sending it out to healthcare facilities today. Last week, more than 300 Wisconsinites were tested for COVID-19 at drive-through sites in Douglas and Ashland counties. Today, we're learning not a single test came back positive so far. People showing symptoms of COVID-19 were invited to free drive-through testing locations like this one in Solon Springs last Wednesday. 171 people were tested there. Douglas County health officials say all of those tests came back negative. In Ashland County, another drive-through site tested about 150 people on Thursday. Most of those tests have come back negative too, but they're still waiting on several results. County health experts say while this is good news, it's not a sign to relax social distancing. In all, Douglas County is reporting a total of 11 confirmed cases. Ashland County has 2. Neither has reported a death. The last phase of construction on Park Point Sky Harbor Airport is underway. Crews got to work yesterday. They'll be removing the existing runway and building the new runway and taxiway. The goal is to provide a safer approach for the aircrafts, which are mostly personal planes and seaplanes. A key element of this project is barging the asphalt trucks. Instead of them traveling through Canal Park and into Park Point, they're going to put them on a barge and ship them across the harbor. This new runway will provide a safer approach for aircraft.
It's a whole new runway, rotated 5 degrees, so it takes the approach path out of those trees, away from the trees, and maintains a safe approach path for aircraft. It has been our goal to preserve the old growth forest out there, yet maintain safe flight operations for the airport.
The new runway is expected to open in mid-June. Airport officials say even with the current runway closed for 30 days, seaplanes can still take off and land. You want to have your eyes on the Northland skies tomorrow. The Minnesota National Guard and the Duluth-based 148th Fighter Wing will hold a flyover to honor workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. This time, they'll fly their F-16 jets over the Northland. They're expecting to fly over Duluth just before noon tomorrow. You can find the full schedule on our website. Drivers in Hermantown should expect some lane closures. The southbound lane of Lohberg Road will be closed starting today. Crews will be working between Market Street and Sam's Club. The project is expected to last into next week. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how schools on the Iron Range are getting creative for some of their upcoming graduation ceremonies.
High temperature today of 55 degrees is still 6 shy of normal, but after tomorrow, normal will return, and we'll talk about how long it will stick around with our 7-day forecast coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 6 with Kristen Bucky, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
So, what's the plan?
You jump in there, the drought ends, and then the crops grow.
Okay, what if instead we just built something that would get the water from the river down to the fields, like with tubes or something?
Well, everybody walked all the way up here, so...
Go on, get on with it!
In you go.
No, you're right.
Eventually, somebody realizes there's a better way to do things, like a mobile service with the fastest overall speeds. Now with 5G, it's a better way to mobile. It's Spectrum Mobile.
At Papa Murphy's, we know family time is more important than ever. So we're helping by offering online ordering everywhere and delivery and curbside pickup where we can, so you can keep family time as normal as possible. Papa Murphy's, we're in this together.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The affordable new MX series has a lot to offer. The versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade, and clear brush and snow. A spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. Excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and built to get every job done right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Bullet Implement.
At Super One Foods, we go to great measures to deliver you with top quality meat every day. Try our boneless eye of round steak for only $3.99 per pound and get Smithfield pork butt roast for just $1.66 per pound. Plus, we provide the best of the best in fresh produce. Get Texas-grown large watermelon for just $3.99 each and 2 one-pound packages of Driscoll strawberries for just $5. Through all that we do, we've got you in mind. Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices. As we all work to get through these challenging times, we're working on your new home. View at Bluestone, Duluth's newest multi-generational living just up the hill, is coming soon. View at Bluestone offers pet-friendly, modern living that meets all your needs. Learn more, take a virtual tour, or lease online at view@bluestone.com. Leasing studio 1 and 2 bedrooms for August 2021. Your new view awaits. View@bluestone.com.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Have you ever had a dream that is so real that it takes you a long time to wake up?
Are you microdosing again?
No, but maybe.
That wasn't awkward at all.
Impressive.
Yes! Yes!
So here we are for some culture.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
CBS3 Weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Same drill, different day. Relative humidity readings are low, dry air mass in place, a cool one to boot. And so elevated fire dangers come during the daylight hours. We run the risk of wildland fires taking off and running amok until sunset, and then temperature and dew points spread and are actually closer together, doing the opposites there. Anyway, the problem goes away for a little while when things get cooler and the relative humidities go up. Well, hopefully the solution comes tomorrow to this problem for a while. Get an 80% chance for rain that'll come aboard, and we just might manage some decent rain totals. All right, this morning we managed some record cold temperatures, set fresh record in International Falls at 18, Hayward at 20, and tied the old record in Hibbing at 20 as well. But with clouds increasing tonight, things are going to warm up, and by this time next week, we may be talking about temps in the mid-70s rather than the upper teens. Right now at the airport in Duluth, 54 degrees, cooler than normal. Relative humidity, 20% in the danger zone. Wind is calm, and the air pressure is high at 1,022 millibars. Temperatures lower than normal. We're looking at 51 in Watersmeet and 48 in Ironwood, 53 Ashland, and 55 from Solon Springs up towards Oliver and Superior as well. 54, that's the current reading towards Two Harbors. 55 Moose Lake, 52 Hibbing, 52 International Falls. With sunshine, not so bad feeling, but it could feel warmer, and it will after Wednesday. The low pressure system bringing in our rain chance will also bring in warmer temps. Doppler map right now shows that higher pressure cell still in control of our region, so hardly a cloud in the sky, and we're still not seeing any advancing across the border into western Minnesota from an approaching low pressure system, but it is out there. And by this time tomorrow, it'll be packing an 80% chance for rain. And by the time it wraps up early Thursday afternoon, I think our region just might go about a quarter to a half inch of rain. Closest to a half inch just might be Silver Bay. Closest to a quarter might be the Hayward area. No matter what you get, we do need it, and hopefully it helps solve that fire danger problem that we've been very cautious about for the longest of times. Tonight's forecast, increasing clouds, increasing temperatures as well. No teens tomorrow morning in Minnesota, 30 to 34 for the low temps. Increasing clouds across the border into Wisconsin and Michigan as well. 29 to 35 there. Superior the warmest, Ironwood the coolest, because Ironwood will be the last folks to get the cloud cover to increase. Tomorrow, daytime high temps, Wisconsin, Michigan, going from 54 in Superior to 60 for Cable. 80% chance for afternoon comes aboard from that approaching low pressure system. Minnesotans could get the chance first with high temps tomorrow in the 40s by the lake and 50s inland, and that's cooler than normal. But normal returns here on Thursday. We hit 62. Then with sunshine, we go to 65 on Friday. I wonder if Tony will be here working. Yeah, he probably will. He's got a good work ethic. He's a Minnesotan, don't you know? Then 64 and sunny on Sunday. But Tuesday, Tony, 75 degrees, which may help trigger enough lift for 40% chance for spring-style thunderstorms.
Interesting. Well, you got me thinking I might have to play hooky on Friday if it stays 65 and sunny. Thanks for the idea, Dave.
Go broadcast from your deck.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It's got a certain charm.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Seniors all across the state have had their special year flipped upside down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, 2 Iron Range high schools are giving the seniors some closure by getting creative. Both the Hibbing and Chisholm administrators announced last week they will be having in-person graduations to give their seniors the recognition they deserve. Chisholm's graduation will be held in the parking lot, while the students social distance. Hibbing will hold a drive-through style graduation. Both graduations will have some parts pre-recorded and broadcasted on the radio.
We made a financial commitment from the district and the radio station to do what it would take in order to get this program off for the kids, because that's the least we could do given the situation that they were in the past year.
Principals for both schools say they plan on having the graduations on the original dates. Other Northland schools are also making changes to plans. Grand Rapids will hold a live stream ceremony. Nashwauk, Keewatin, and Deer River seniors will drive up to get their diplomas. In Floodwood, graduates will come into the school with their families and each walk across the stage individually. School officials know this is a stressful time for everyone, so students' mental health has also been a big focus of theirs.
The curriculum component, delivering education, is something that we are used to doing, but when families are under stress, when under a stressful situation, children are in a stressful situation, that mental health component engagement becomes even more important.
Itasca Community College has their first of 3 graduations tonight. They plan to hold an in-person ceremony broken down into small groups based on areas of study. Duluth firefighters started training on a new truck, the first of its kind in Minnesota. The department welcomed one tower last week. It features a 100-foot tall tower, which is the tallest for any fire truck in the state. Crews were learning how to use all the new bells and whistles this afternoon. Their previous truck was totaled in 2018 after a fire in the engine compartment. After training on the new rig, fire officials hope to have the truck in service by the end of the month. COVID-19 has made it difficult for some snowbirds to decide whether to stay where they are or go home for the summer. We spoke with Megan Levitt, a public information officer for Carleton County. She offered some tips for people who make the move during the winter. She says if a snowbird is comfortable and are able to stay where they are, then they should. However, if they want to return home, they're asked to follow CDC and state guidelines, including stay-at-home orders. We'll have more on this story tonight at 10. Ahead in sports, could Major League Soccer resume in the happiest place on earth? Kelly Hinseth is in studio with details next.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth. CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The world is changing quickly, and it's important to find calm in the storm. We're all focusing on the things that matter most: family, community, safety. At Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment, we're here to help you get back outside. Take a deep breath. Get the job done right. Have fun. We're here with you, and we've got everything you need to enjoy the outdoors at historically low prices. See Jeff, Frank, and Alex. We'll be here when you need us.
Reclaim your life today in the face of anxiety, depression, or thoughts of suicide at Ketamine North Infusion. In our safe spaces, we want to ensure you a better quality of life with our low-dose IV ketamine infusions. Ketamine North Infusion. Be well with us.
Let's drive forward together in the new Duluth Dodge Ram Warlock Northwoods Edition. 0 down, 36-month lease, $248 a month. True 0 down. It's a Duluth Dodge Blue Ribbon lease. Duluth Dodge 4755 Miller Trunk Highway or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
We all want to do our part to keep our communities safe.
Thank you for your efforts to stay home, but you shouldn't stay home no matter what.
If you have a medical emergency, call 911 immediately. Our emergency departments are open and ready to care for every type of illness or injury.
If you have a chronic condition, call your clinic and we can help manage your care. Our facilities are clean and safe.
Please, seek care when you need it.
Essentia Health and St. Luke's are open and ready to care for you.
Have you ever had a dream that is so real that it takes you a long time to wake up?
Are you microdosing again?
No. Well, maybe.
That wasn't awkward at all.
Oh, impressive.
Yes! Yes! So here we are for some culture.
DBS, your all things basement-y company. Does your home have uneven or sloping floors? How about cracked drywall, stair-stepping cracks, or bowed basement walls? You may have a problem with your foundation. Call the specialists at DBS. They thoroughly inspect your property and provide a permanent solution to your foundation problem. We offer a fully transferable warranty, unmatched in our area. Contact DBS, your all things basement-y company, for a free, no-obligation estimate. Call or visit us online. DBS, helping your family have a healthy, safe, and comfortable home.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
In an effort to bring back sports, Major League Soccer is considering bringing every team to Florida in order to resume its season. A report from the Washington Post says the league may gather all 26 teams in Orlando, Florida, and play games at the Disney Sports Complex. I wouldn't mind that at all. More than 1,000 players, coaches, and support staff would be housed in a quarantined resort near Disney World while the games are played with no fans in attendance. Officials with the MLS or the Players Association would not comment on the report when asked about the plan. Disney owns ESPN, which is one of the broadcast partners with Major League Soccer. League games are currently on hold until at least June 8th. While the status of the resumption of the NHL season is still in the air, the American Hockey League, the developmental league for the NHL, is putting a halt on hockey until next season. The AHL has officially canceled the 2020 season, as released in a press announcement by the league office yesterday. They said their main concern is the health and safety of its players and will now turn their attention fully to the 2020-2021 season. This affects a number of former Bulldogs who are currently on NHL teams. Just to name a few, Billy Exel plays for the Wichita Thunder, Parker McKay, who plays for the Texas Stars, Hunter Miska, who posted a message to Instagram when the news hit. They will likely not hit the ice until next season. Closer to home, the UMD women's hockey team released their home matchups for next year. It begins on Saturday, September 26th, with their annual exhibition game against the Minnesota Whitecaps. Without really knowing when the next time the team will be together, it's certainly been a time to adapt and work with what they've got right where they are. The team named their captains officially last week. Newly appointed senior captain Ashton Bell says they've already started looking ahead to next year. That was no matter what the schedule slated out to look like.
Coaches have already reached out to us about meeting like once every 2 weeks, just like talking about stuff and about the season coming up. So yeah, we already have a plan in place for that. Yeah, it's been odd, but I think we've adapted.
And the Milwaukee Bucks are slowly trying to get back to normal. Slowly. Via a Twitter announcement from general manager John Horst, the Bucks opened their practice and training facility in Milwaukee. The NBA had announced that teams could do so as of last Friday. Only 4 players can be present at one time with no organized scrimmages or games. Any treatment, performance training, or rehabilitation must be done on a voluntary basis by the players, who must wear masks at all times when not participating in physical activity. The Timberwolves have not yet made an announcement on their training facility because at the end of the day, player and personnel, people safety is the first thing that comes with all this.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little while before we start to see sports resume how we are used to sports being carried out.
That is true. It'll be a while.
Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. Well, before we go, the force is strong at a Minnesota zoo. Como Park Zoo and Conservatory has welcomed a new baby sheep. Meet Skywalker, born on Star Wars Day. That was May 4th. He and Mom share an exhibit at the park with Father Sylvester, Aunt Drizzle, and Grandmother Storm. Skywalker is also joined by his cousin Nimbus, who was born just 9 days earlier. All right, Dave, what's the rest of the night looking like weather-wise?
Well, right now my mind's boggling with the weather names for those sheep. Nimbus the sheep.
Yeah.
I need one of those.
Cumulonimbus cloud.
Yep, exactly. Well, what we need around here is rain. And I don't think we'll get cumulonimbus clouds with this system, but nimbostratus could deliver an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. It's an 80% chance on Wednesday for the rain. Could last through Thursday morning. And by the time it goes, a quarter to a half inch of rain could fall, which hopefully will fight off that fire danger we've been minding our P's and Q's about for the longest of times. Then Friday, 65 and sunny, showers and 60 on Saturday, 64 and sunny on Sunday, and then perhaps stormy cumulonimbus clouds on Tuesday with a temperature of 75 degrees.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dave. Well, that's the news for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 10.